Hello. We start from the east.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kokwana no. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Sing along, holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right, moving faster, never free. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kokwana.
So there it is. Holy, holy Nnamdi Kanu, the other savior. So there's been a news that broke since just in between me playing the music and coming on screen. There's been a news that's broken. So let me just bring you to that very quickly. Breaking: court sacks Ebonyi Governor Umahi, deputy, over defection to APC party. So as we stand now, as we speak now, as of this moment, there is no government, certainly no driver in the driver's seat in Ebonyi State. So that is the fresh off the press news that's just broken now. Breaking, court sacks Ebonyi Governor Umahi and deputy over defection to APC party. So quite what's in play there, we'll find out shortly. These were a story now we've been tracking for going on 2 days. Why Buhari sacked BUNU as APC caretaker chairman revealed. So quite what underpins that we'll find out shortly. Uh, Sunday, Igboho blocked from returning to Nigeria. So son of the soil barred from the soil. So quite what is in play there and what makes for that level of audacity. We find that out. Former PGFDG Lukman lists reasons Buhari supported Buni sack as APC acting chairman. So I'll move this story right next to that one so that I will just read them in tandem. So I'll read that in tandem and I'll read this in tandem as well. So I'll move this over as well. So Sunday Igbo's release shows self-determination is not a crime. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer seizing that space to use it to permutate or to use it to politic to their own travails. So Sunday Igboho's release shows self-determination is not a crime. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer not missing an opportunity. So Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer not missing an opportunity. And we may land on this one. This is something that's been ongoing pretty much even before I was born. ASU strike may end this week, federal government. So I cannot recall a time in history or in memory that ASU was not on strike. It's either the lecturers are on strike or the students are on strike. And then what is meant to be a 4-year program, you end up spending 8 years in a Nigerian university. ASU strike may end this week, our federal government informs. So quite what underpins that confidence we find out shortly as well. So lean back, kick back, take it easy. Click on the like button if you will, please, because that helps the YouTube algorithm. That is what drives the platform. If you just click on the click on the red subscribe button, of course, that you click on once. Anybody that is watching this session and the subscribe button on your screen is showing red, then you are not fully in yet. You've not yet done the right thing. So click on that subscribe button to depress it and turn it gray. That's a once-off click. And then click on the like button as well, because those two clicks help to propel the platform and the YouTube algorithm. So do the clickings, and as you are doing the clickings, let me provide a musical backdrop. We go to the east and partake in a Python dance.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi bu onye du aimo. O Mary wone nizu mbiro ya Abakare. Mamanda ora, Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi.
There you heard it, the dulcet tones of the East. Enande wins the war. They continue to keep the faith in the East. So Nandi wins the war. Nandi wins the war as guys I bring you this. Our court sacks Ebonyi Governor Umahi and deputy over defection to APC party. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Tuesday sacked Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State and his deputy, Dr. Eric Igwe, following their defection from the People's Democratic Party PDP to the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. The court, in a judgment that was delivered by Justice Iyang Ekwo, held that the total number of 393,042 votes Governor Umahi secured during the March the 9th, 2019 governorship election in Ebonyi State belonged to the PDP and same could not be legally transferred to the APC. According to the court, having defected to the APC, both Umahi and his deputy not only jettisoned the PDP, but also the votes that belongs to it. It held that going by the outcome of the governorship election, the office of the governor and deputy governor in Ebonyi State belongs to the plaintiff and not and no other political party. There is no constitutional provision that made the ballot transferable from one party to the other. It held that the PDP was bound to retain the vote and mandate that was given to it by electorates in Ebonyi State, as both Governor Umahi and his deputy could not validly transfer same to APC. The court therefore ordered both Umahi and Igwe to immediately vacate their positions. It ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to immediately receive from the PDP names of persons to replace Umahi and his deputy, or in the alternative, conduct a fresh gubernatorial election in Ebonyi State in line with Section 177C of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The court further restrained both Umahi and Igwe from further parading themselves as governor or deputy of Ebonyi State. The judgment followed a suit the PDP lodged before the court. So there you have it. Fulani made, but not anymore. So he thought the impunity in Nigeria is not something that they are going to get away with easily. This is the thing. But that judge, now, and not that judge's name, because any good judgment that comes out of Nigeria, because I read these things all the time. So some names continue to recur in certain spaces, and that Justice Inyang Ekwo or something. I'll go back to his name in a moment. His name always occurs anytime there's a reasonable and a decent and a constitutional judgment in Nigeria. So what's his name again? That justice Inyang Ekwo. Yeah, so note that name because anytime there's a decent judgment in Nigeria, it's often the case that it is him. Why Buhari sacked Buni as APC caretaker chairman revealed. The reason President Mohamed Buhari sacked Governor Mia Malabuni of Yobe State as the chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC Caretaker Committee has been revealed. Correspondents reported that Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State reported Yobe Governor, sorry, correspondents reported that Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State replaced the Yobe governor, who is on medical trip to Dubai, as the acting chairman of the ruling party on Monday. Following his appointment, the Niger governor presided over a meeting of the caretaker extraordinary at the party national secretariat in Abuja. According to the cable, President Buhari sacked Buni as the party caretaker chairman after it was learned he was plotting to disrupt the party's national convention scheduled for March the 26th. A source told news medium that Buni and the national secretary of the party, John James, obtained a court order to temporarily stop the much anticipated event until a substantive suit has been heard and determined. The source said the president knew about BUNU's plot to stop the National Convention a week ago and directed his immediate sack before leaving for London on a medical trip. He added that the APC governors who supported BUNU have taken sides with the president and have supported his decision. He said the president asked the Niger governor to replace BUNU when he became aware of the document. BUNU and John James, who is the national secretary, will have to vacate their offices immediately. So there it is. That is the reason why he was sacked. So still within that space, former PGFDG Lukman lists reasons Buhari supported BUNU's sack as acting APC chairman. Former Director General of the Progressive Governors Forum, Salihu Lukman, has said President Mohamed Buhari is highly disappointed with the way Yobe Governor Mia Malabuni ran the ruling All Progressive Congress APC caretaker committee and his removal was justified. Lukman also frowned at reports that Buhari was forced to sack Buni and replace him with Niger State Governor Abubakar Bello, saying the leadership crisis in the APC, which could make the party lose future elections, was the reason Buhari took the decision to save the party. In his reaction on Monday following the removal of Buni, Lukman said instead of the reports which made Buhari look like a dictator, the president should be applauded for intervening in the party crisis at the right time. According to the former DG, there were several allegations against the Buni-led CECPC, one of which was the committee allegedly procuring a court order against holding the party's national convention on March the 26th. President Muhammad Buhari, like most party leaders and members, is highly disappointed at the serial cases of deliberate effort by Mia Malabuni and his associates to block the APC convention from holding based on an alleged personal ambition. Between November 2021 and January 2022, the APC convention has been postponed 3 times because of deliberate refusal to initiate most of the processes required, such as booking the venue for the convention and serving statutory. I think we may have read this one before. But let's just carry on anyway. Such as booking the venue for the convention and serving the statutory 3-week notice to INEC. In addition, there were other serious allegations against the leadership of Mia Malabuni, which include the discovery that his group, since November 2021, had obtained a court injunction against the convention and were waiting until 2 to 3 days to the convention before serving it on the party to succeed in blocking the March 26 APC convention from holding. The plot is that Mia Malabuni wants to continue to run the affairs of the party and conduct the party primaries where candidates for the 2023 elections will emerge. As part of the plot, once they heard that President Buhari has agreed with some party leaders that necessary steps to save the party should be taken, which requires a change of the CECPC leadership, they decided to present it in the media that the president has sacked Mia Malabuni as the chairman of the CECPC and appointed His Excellency Abubakar Sani Bello as a sole administrator. This is mischievously designed to present both the party and the president as being undemocratic. On the contrary, internal organs of the party, with all the statutory powers to effect all the necessary changes, will be used to give effect to all the aspirations of President Buhari. Party leaders and members to rescue the APC from the leadership of Mia Malabuni. Anybody that will emerge as a replacement to Malabuni and Senator John James as chairman and secretary will have all the requisite mandate of the organs vested with such responsibility as provided by the constitution of the party, Lukman said in a statement. So there it is right there. So there it is right there. They are essentially pursuing a personal agenda. That is really the takeout from for why that guy was sacked. Uh, so the cabal loses, but the cabal are they down and defeated? That is the thing. They are not going to give it up. They want that presidential ticket for themselves, and that is not something that they will give up easily. Sunday, Igboho blocked from returning to Nigeria. Yoruba Nation activist Sunday Igboho will not be able to return to Nigeria despite his release from a prison facility in Benin Republic. Correspondents learned that Igboho is to remain in Cotonou. Correspondents learned that Igboho is to remain in Cotonou only and can't travel to any other place. This was part of the conditions of his release. Igboho was set free and handed over to fellow Yoruba Nation leaders Wale Adeniran and Banji Akitoye on Monday evening. In a statement on Monday by Maxwell Adeleye, a spokesperson to Akitoye, Igboho's release was a triumph of truth over darkness in Yoruba land. The Yoruba Nation activist chief Sunday Adeyemo, fondly called Sunday Igboho, has been released by the government of the Republic of Benin. The activist was released on Monday to a Yoruba leader and leader of the umbrella body of Yoruba self-determination groups, Ilana Omo Odua Worldwide, Professor Banji Akitoye, and a French language expert slash deputy Alano of Ilana Omo Odua Worldwide, Professor Wale Adeniran. Adeleye revealed that Igboho will remain in Cotonou till further notice. He, Igboho, is remaining in Cotonou. He was freed on medical grounds as no case was preferred against him. Aside, he had been detained for more than 6 months, which is contrary to the law. Confirming this, Igboho's lawyer chief Yomi Aliyu, in a message to newsmen, disclosed that Igboho was released on the grounds that he would not leave Cotonou for any reason. I am to inform you that Chief Sunday Adeyemo, aka Igboho'S, has been released from prison to his medical practitioners under the agreement that he should not leave the medical center or Cotonou for any reasons. So essentially, Sowore conditions is still in prison, but they've just widened the prison to the entirety of Cotonou, which is essentially the Sowore narrative. Sowore is still in prison, but the prison has been expanded to the parameters of Abuja. So released, but not really. This is the thing. Sunday Igbo's release shows self-determination is not a crime. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Aloy Ejiofor, special counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, has reacted to the release of Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo Igboho. Ejimoko, in a tweet on Monday, said the release of the Yoruba activist by the Beninese government showed that self-determination was neither a crime nor an extraditable offense. He therefore called on the Nigerian government and the court to reverse its injustice against Kanu. In a tweet, Ejimoko wrote, "The release of Igboho by the Benin Republic has validated the universal law that self-determination is neither a crime nor an extraditable offense. If it is, Igboho would have been extradited to Nigeria. If Nigeria fails to reverse its injustice to #Nnamdi Kanu, its court must." Igboho was released by the Beninese government on Monday and handed over to Professor Banji Akitoye, the leader of the Ilana Omodua Worldwide, a Yoruba self-determination group. Igboho had been detained in a prison facility in the Republic of Benin after he was arrested with Rokbo, his wife, at Cardinal Bernardin International Airport, Cotonou, whilst on his way to Germany in July 2021. This was after he was declared wanted by the Department of State Services, DSS. So we go on now to the last story and then we'll see who's around. ASU strike may end this week, federal government. So that's the last readout. The federal government has expressed hope that the Academic Staff Union of Universities would call off its ongoing 4 weeks warning strike this week. Minister of Labor and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, said this when he addressed journalists after the last marathon conciliation meeting between the government and ASUU. Ngige said the meeting agreed on many things and put timelines for the implementations of the agreements. According to him, ASUU agreed to go back to their members with the government offers and report back to him before this week runs out. The minister reiterated that many of the items in the 2020 Memorandum of Action had been dealt with exhaustively, whilst some were being addressed. He said, we have only one or two areas that are new. One of the new he said, we have only one or two areas that are new. One of the new areas is the renegotiation of the conditions of service, which is called the 2009 agreement. An agreement was reached in 2009 that their conditions of service will be reviewed every 5 years. It was done in 2014. We started one in which the former UNILAG Pro Chancellor Wale Babalakin was chairing the committee. After Babalakin, Professor Manzali was in charge, and the committee came up with a draft document proposed by the Federal Ministry of Education and ASUU. Today, Manzali's committee has become defunct because many of the people in the committee are no longer pro-chancellors. A new team has been constituted to have a second look at that document to make sure that some of the allowances are not against National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission fixed rates for wages and allowances. If you propose allowances that do not comply with NSIWC rates, the government will not accept it. So it is important that they do the right thing from the beginning so that whatever the committee presents can be approved by the FEC Federal Executive Council. Ngige disclosed that the meeting fixed a timetable of 6 weeks for the new committee set up by the Education Ministry to round off everything on the conditions of service. Regarding the issue of University Transparency Accountability Solution, UTAS, he said the meeting mandated a joint committee of ASU, the National Universities Commission NUC, and the National Information Technology Development Agency NITAD to conduct an integrity test on the platform in conjunction with neutral experts. We told them to conclude the test by March the 8th. If they conclude, we expect to work on it within 6 weeks. He, however, said there was no problem with the issue of earned academic allowances apart from the reconciliation of payments made in tranches to the university system. Once we conclude the reconciliation, if the federal government is in arrears on any tranche, the finance minister will look for money to pay, even though the federal government does not have money. And allowance is an allowance for excessive workload. Last year, it was paid. And allowance is an allowance for excessive workload. Last year, it was paid based on the rule of the term theory of 10% of total personal cost. This year, we have told the NUC to put up a committee and within the next 3 weeks, come up with a figure that will be sent to the finance minister. For me, I think we are on course. ASU should go to their members, show them offers made to them by the government so that they can call off the strike. Earlier, the president of ASU, Professor Emmanuel Osodeki, said their members, students, and Nigerian people want to see the action from the government. According to Osodeki, the education sector in Nigeria is in crisis and money is being lost in the primary, secondary, and tertiary education levels. He noted that the money that ought to have been used to fund education in Nigeria was being lost to other countries and therefore called for a declaration of emergency in the sector to solve the problems. Also from the government side at the meeting include the Minister of State for Labour and Employment Festus Keyamo, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry Peter Yerima Tafar, Executive Secretary NUC Professor Adamu Abubakar Rashid, and Chairman National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, Epo Nta, amongst others. So there it is right there. ASU continues to be on strike. I think they started that strike when I was on 100 level, and now I'm on 1 million level. So the ASU strike, a never-ending saga within the Nigerian space. So let's come. Ovie, we see you. Charlie Boy, we see you. And the might that is Ajanle Koko, we see you. Good to see you all, gentlemen. So good to have you all. So let me actually go to Ajanle Koko quickly then and take you then, Ajanle Koko, to the first story that broke. Ibonyi is looking for a governor. Are you available?
let's call for Professor Datawo.
This is it. This is it. Look at that, though. They sacked Dave Umahi and his deputy, but the reasons why they've given. What are you making then of this bombshell?
Oh yeah, I think it's a good judgment.
Yes.
Technically, by law, if you when you are voting, you vote for the party. When you are completing on the voting, what do they call it? Ballot paper. It is the party logo that you are voting for.
You know, it's a contentious one, but go on, because I'm not sure I fully agree, but carry on.
Yeah, it is the party logo that you are voting for. It is the party that carries whoever that is the nominee to victory, election victory, or election loss whatsoever. So when someone is voting for a candidate, you don't vote for the name of candidate, you are voting for the party. Though the personality in as the candidate of the party is representing the party as the candidate, but
that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, isn't it?
That you are voting for. So that is the reason why if somebody cross from one party to another, that person can be recalled by members of the party if they feel disenchanted by his crossover to another party. So it could be recalled. And this is what I think that the PDP has done to contest at the law court, that this guy have not contested, this guy have no right to cross from our party to another party, because it's we, the voters of PDP, that got him into power. But now, jettisoning our vote to another party is illegal. So I think they presented their case very well before the judge, and the judge.
This is a landmark judgment, isn't it? I don't think I've heard these judgments before because you've just described it perfectly, Ajanle Koko. What the judge is saying is that the vote cast was cast for PDP, and
Yes,
you cannot transfer those votes from the PDP to the APC because the people who lined up to vote you into government, they were not voting to vote in a an APC government. They were voting to vote in a PDP
for
government.
PDP government
And there were PDP members turning up in their numbers to support their party.
to
You
support their
cannot
party.
then collect that vote from PDP members and transfer it to APC. So this is what he's saying. But then how much of that vote was for the personality of the ticket bearer? You see, this is the thing. So
Yeah.
it's still, I feel there's still fights to be had.
Oh yeah, I believe it's going to appeal. I think the judgment is at the law. I mean,
High Court.
High Court, right?
Mm.
Yeah, they will appeal it, and I believe they will go all the way to the Supreme Court. But under the normal circumstances, the people voting are not 100% voting for the personality. They vote for the party.
People
Because the
vote for along
ballot
party
box,
lines traditionally. Yeah.
yes, on the ballot box, the name of the candidate does not appear on the ballot box in Nigeria. It is the logo of the party that people always pretend upon or by the side of it on the ballot box, and it is the party they are voting for. So you could be the face of the party as a candidate, but when they are voting, it is the party they voted for. And this is what I believe they presented before the law court, that this is what happened. Look at the ballot box. It is the party that the people voted for. They did not vote for him though he's the candidate of the party, but the party is bigger than him. He is not bigger than the party. It is the party that sponsored him. If the party did not sponsor him as the candidate, he will never be the face of the party. So the party is bigger than him. The party, he cannot jettison the party without any reason and just move to another party, to a different party, and put them in disarray. So what he did, he jettisoned PDP and put the PDP structure and their political party in disarray in that state. And I believe that is why they went to court to call for his removal. And the judge responded very well. It's good.
So the judge makes two recommendations, Adiale Koko, and you're fading a little bit, by the way. But the judge makes two recommendations. The first one is for INEC to immediately withdraw their return whatever ticket or something, whatever letter. So they would withdraw him from that seat, and he must immediately vacate that space. So that's just the direct order. But then the recommendation was that either that APC sends INEC a new set of names to occupy those slots, or they run a fresh election.
Yeah, that will INEC will decide on that either by running a new election, or it depends on the rule. It depends on the electoral rule. So INEC will have to go by the, electoral law rather. Whatever the electoral law says in this kind of situation or circumstances is what the INEC we follow. So if the electoral law says that when this kind of situation happen, then PDP have to automatically present somebody that will fill up the position, and they will satisfy it, or maybe they have to go into a new round of election. So whatever the electoral law says is what the INEC will embark upon. But in the meantime, I believe he will appeal. We still remain in the office. He will appeal, and we see what will happen from there. But the judge has done well.
But the judge ordered with immediate effect. So really, he should not be, because if the judge directs the INEC to act with immediate effect, the INEC is not obliged to Umahi in any way.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're
They
right.
must
One man.
remove
Yes.
him. They remove
Yes.
him immediately, and then if he wants to go and appeal, it will come from the outside to come and appeal.
Oh, okay.
So
yes.
the house leader will hold temporary. But then if we go to the space that PDP has to then submit names, what criteria are they going to use? That is another set of thing to be explored.
Oh yeah. The PDP leadership could either go two ways, either by conducting a fresh primary among themselves, or give it to a person that came second to Umahi during their own primary, and quickly mobilize behind him and then present his case.
Do you think that person will be ordering Malu as we are speaking now? That person that came second to Mahi. Because if it was me, I'll be ordering Malu, because you are not holding anything fresh. So I came second. And if it's illegal, then I'm first. So I will be ordering Malu, as we say that.
No.
Silifa, yeah.
So the best way for PDP to do, to come together as a one family, is to quickly rally around the person that came second to him during their primary, and then just for them to have a common front right now to fight strongly against Umahi, and continue the legal battle, frontally, and because the moment a PDP man assume that position of governorship, he will.
It will be very difficult to move him. So it's a case of
very difficult.
Strike and strike now.
Yes.
They shouldn't leave room for argument. Just give it to the very next person.
Yes.
Take his name to INEC as we are speaking right now, and have them giving him a return letter and drive him straight to State House.
Yes. So PDP doesn't need to have any infighting among themselves now.
No, you have to act
sharp, straight, quickly assume that office, take over all the resources of the state, and use it against him. And use it against him. Because the moment they assume that power in that state, that would be the end of Umahi, except the legal battle upward determine otherwise. But they will be in a very strong position, to use all the resources, mobilize all the people of the state against him, get all the traditional, there's no way politicians wouldn't have offended one person or the other when in power. So they will now try, to organize people, because PDP is strongly rooted in that state.
It's a PDP state now, It's theft now. It's theft. Because it was a resounding victory that PDP got in that state, and then you carry all of that and then take it to the rival party. It's unheard of.
Yeah. So this is a good judgment, and I think it's good for our democracy. And I hope when this goes further up, the legal battle goes further up, they will continue to rule in favor of PDP. And
they have to uphold the law. Just when you think you've given up on everything in Nigeria, and then once in a while you have a judge or a justice that is just brave enough to say no.
Yeah,
we have to uphold this constitution. You can't just make up your own rules now. You can't have a God.
Yeah. So if they go all the way to Supreme Court and it's confirmed that it's illegal for Umahi, that will be we serve as precedent for the future that nobody can cross from one party to the other and get away with it easily. You know,
All right,
that's
all right, all right, brilliant. So we watch that space. Further developments, almost certainly before the end of today, they are the Court of Appeal. But so the Sunday Igbo space, the IPOB narrative, they've quickly latched onto it to highlight that the fact that Sunday Igbo was released by the Beninese is indicative that the agitation for self-determination is not a criminal offense. Because if it was, then the Beninese, they had no reason to release him. So they are now saying that that shows, it just enhances the international legal position that self-determination agitation for. It's not a criminal offense, which they then you are then using them to essentially say that the Nnamdi Kanu situation is somewhat a criminal one. So what are you making then of the IPOB trying to leverage Igboho's release to their benefit?
oh yeah. The statement by Ejamoho is is um, is a statement of it's a statement of truth. It's a statement of fact. We all know that United Nation it's a United Nation charter that give people all over the world in any country the right to agitate for self-determination. It's never an illegal by United Nations law, which Nigerian state is a signatory to. So, but you know, Nigerian state is a state of it's a state that does not respect the rule of law. Nigerian state is a state that is ruled by um, a power of man, not the power of law. So it's a state that ruled by the rule of force. So and any group of people, any person or group of people that is agitating for any better life for the people, or yeah, acting in with a voice of dissent against the misrule and misgovernance in Nigeria. Nigerian state, we always go for that person. Ejimaho, what he said, like I said earlier, statement of fact is a statement that is in line with United Nations Charter, which Nigeria is signatory to. And I believe that while Sunday Igboho is in Republic of Benin, I believe that he will be acting under the guidance of the leadership of Ilana Modua. I believe that he will doing he will not act in any way contrary to the law of Republic of Benin.
All right. So still stay with Sunday Igbo. The city limit restrictions that they've imposed, the parameters of Cotonou, is that not really rinse and repeat, Showore? Has he really been released from prison, or have they just widened the prison to the city parameters? So not to leave Cotonou is what they've stated. So has it actually been released? Because the prison, it seems to me, has just been widened, the parameters of the prison.
Well, its release is conditional, as we know. I think we should commend them at least for releasing him, even though they held him illegally for so long. But I think they are trying to follow a process to release him gradually. Now they said they release him uh, on the ground of his health condition. And what do we know? What do we know that is going to happen after that? So after that, I believe his team of lawyer will continue to fight for him. So as long as we have the team of lawyers, they are fighting for him, and the leaders of Ilana Omodua there too, and the more pressure they putting on the authority of Republic of Benin, I think they'll be yielding ground. They'll be yielding ground, and we hope in not too long time they will finally give him the final freedom, so he can go to wherever he is. But for now, we still have to abide by by their decision to release him unconditionally. To release him conditionally is still good than to remain in prison. So it's still better. Yeah.
Okay, so Ajanle Koko, man and boy, have you ever, can you recall man and boy, a time that the universities were not on strike in Nigeria? I cannot recall it, but they are on strike again, and really around the pay conditions of the lecturers, which is usually the case. Some convoluted system which they are trying to pin it to every 5 year review, performance related pay, and all this sort of stuff. Where is the altruism in that teaching profession? Because I think they feel that if you are chopping a wolf at the Senate and we are the ones that are actually doing real work, why should we have to suffer on penury whilst you are looting the country? So let's loot it together. So the ASU joined the looting spree, or are they asking for a fair pay for a fair day's work? What is your reading of the never ending and almost certainly will never end ASU strike?
ASU strike will never end in Nigeria as long as we have public university education in Nigeria. Only when they cancel it that we don't have public university education, that is when ASU strike will end. Only when we have private university alone in Nigeria, that is when ASU strike will end. But as long as we have public university in Nigeria, it will never, 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 never end. It's unfortunate that the people that we have in the position of power does not care for any development in that country. They don't want to invest on education. They don't want to invest on healthcare. They don't want to invest on infrastructure. They don't want to invest. They don't invest on anything. What they don't know is that investment on education is an investment for the future of the country. United Nations came out with a report some time ago that on every dollar that you invest on education, what you will get in return is $20. So what kind of business would you do that will give you such a huge return? There's no business around the world that think you will put in $1 and you will give you will get $20 in return. So Nigerian bad leadership does not invest on education, and that's why we see the country is not developing technically, it's not developing scientifically, it's not developing. There's nothing you can. There's no. I don't know any area of advancement that you can see Nigeria other than music, and those are private individual. But when you talk about something that can give that nation an overall development across the country, you don't see Nigerian state investing on that. So this problem is This problem, I think, started since 2013. 2013, the government of Goodluck Jonathan, I think he was the one there.
Yes.
They signed some agreement with the ASU to increase their an agreement with them to periodically increase their salary every 5 years. But what happened since then? Their salary have not been increased 13 years along the line. How on earth, who on earth can live on the same salary scale for 13 years with the inflationary rate that we have seen in that country, the inflationary rate that Nigeria has gone through for within the period of 13 years, the devaluation of the Naira since then, is it the same price they buy food stuff in the market then that they buying it now? Is it the same amount they pay for the rent? They pay for the rent now. I mean, this set of leadership are criminal. And to worsen the whole thing, they signed agreement with them. The federal government already signed agreement with them that they are going to, since Buhari came into government, they have signed several agreements. They are going to increase their money. They signed it only for the government to not to fulfill the agreement. They signed agreement already to increase their salary. They agree with their demand. They have negotiated. They have entered into agreement, and federal government have signed it. But federal government refuse to implement it. When it comes to implementation, federal government will shift the pole, and then these people will go on strike again. So this is what has been happening since this administration came into power. They've been shifting the pole. They've been coming with different things. Last week they came out. They said federal government does not have that money to pay.
Remember a time that Ngige was actually trying to bully them. Remember, there was a time he was talking tough, saying he was going to sack all of them.
Yes.
Being brash and abusive.
Yes. So there's never going to be. ASU will never stop going on strike as long as we have public university in Nigeria. Only when they kill it, and that is what they are trying to do. They're trying to kill our public education. Poor people will never be opportune again to go to university, and only the children of the rich that can afford to go to private university that will get that tertiary education in Nigeria. So it's just unfortunate. So, but ASU should not back down. They need to continue the struggle, and I believe ASU themselves should organize themselves better and come out strongly with a political statement that people will join them and in this struggle, because it's just, we can't have a vital tertiary educational system when it's not well funded. When it's not well funded, we cannot have it. So, and when you kill your tertiary education system, you are killing the future of the country. You are technically killing the future of the country, because the university educational system is what come out. Every development that any country can get, the basis of it, the theory of it, the theory and sometimes the practicality of it comes from the university education. The professors will come together, the research and everything will come from the university. But Nigeria is not using the university system for their development, and Nigeria can never be a developed country. It can never develop.
Once upon a time, the educational system of Nigeria was one of the things we took pride in. You know, you
Oh,
could take your Nigerian degree to any country in the world, and it will hold its own, and it had international recognition. But now, anytime, even the doctors, they are making them do conversion courses anytime they go abroad. So this is now, and these are the reasons, when they
yes,
don't pay people proper salaries, then they best leave the country, and then the dregs are fighting over crumbs with the
yes.
politicians. So that's it. But thank you, Ajane Koko. Let's go on to Ovie for this of time. Ovie, I think Ovie has disappeared on us. Let's see if oh yeah, there he is. So Ovie, good to have you. I don't know if you're available, but I think Ebonyi State they are looking for a governor. So and I know you are looking for the dollar. So the two hand in glove now. So why are you making then of this bombshell, Dave Umahi, and now ex-governor, or is he? What's playing out there, Ovie?
Just there's so many ways to look at it. It's one for me. Well, I don't think he's going to just buy out like that. He's going to fight. The Supreme Court eventually is going to have the final say. And going by their record so far, we know how it turned out. But again, I think this aligns with Amechi's judgment, Supreme Court judgment of 2007, when the Supreme Court declared victory ahead of the guy, Umahi that was declared by INEC as the victory winner. So I know they're going to go to Supreme Court, and it's not. And followed by that judgment again, there is even the 70, all the 70 members of the State House of Assembly should follow the same. They're also been sacked. So it's
did they cross carpets too?
Yes, all of them were. But again, I think going by the Constitution, the judgment is on it follows the right path. But we just hope that the Supreme Court will not rubbish it. But
do you think some of these cases should just be straight to the Supreme Court? Because there are certain cases when you're talking about issues of governance, especially state and federal. It's somewhat a waste of time going through the high courts only to then go via the appellate system to the Supreme Court. So if it's that important, just take it straight to the Supreme Court and let's have a quick once and for all judgment, and we know that is the position of law.
Yeah, but we are dealing with politicians, so it's a game for them too. So there is a wisdom in the trying to follow it step by step, time by time. You watch how people react to that situation. So that's the political aspect of it now. Could it be just a stunt to sign a warning? Because I know as time goes on, they go cross.
They did not even cross to APC to go and contest for presidency. Is that not what was there? Look at that.
And the clown. Go to his neighbor to Cross River. The said his reason is because he liked the government, he liked the leadership style of the president. That's why he come.
But now he is also under pressure now. He's also under pressure now.
So even the Zafara guy. So could it be just a stunt to just say, okay, just send them warning ahead of what is coming? Maybe it's just because of that. That's another one. 3, I don't want to be in Oshimbanjo's position at this point.
Yeah, another one. Another one. Hey, look at that.
I keep saying it. I set up.
But I will be saying that this guy in a bad market. He has never brought anything good since I took him on. He's just a burden.
Why they go just to that? They cross leg, they jump to his stick, they laugh at what is going on. So I don't want to be the issue at this point. I set up, and it's also his birthday. I mean, everything is just
whose birthday? Umahi.
No, you're a professor now. You don't know your Kicksman birthday.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
turned 65. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not fun being in the show at this point. But we all know that what Supreme Court can do at this point, because as I said, I don't expect Umar to just say Umar and the whole government now you are saying they should just pack and go like that at this point. Even though we applaud that, we say yeah, that is a step forward for our democracy and all
But
that.
you know, Ovie, if INEC are instructed to withdraw his certificate of return, and they do, then he ceases being. It's not even in his gift, but he has come out. Let me just give you a quick snippet of what he is saying. It says, I remain governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi. Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi has reacted to the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which removed him and deputy from office on Tuesday. Umahi, who described the judgment as embarrassing, alleged that the presiding judge was influenced to deliver the judgment against him. He noted that there is no provision in the Nigerian constitution whereby a serving governor or his deputy could be removed on account of defection to another political party. He explained it is only through death, resignation, or impeachment by the state assembly that a serving governor and his deputy can be removed from office. So that was his just quick on the spot response. But if they tell INEC to withdraw his what is he even talking about? What happened to Emeka Ehidioha? What is he talking about? This guy must be on drugs.
That is a man that's saying that we are in power. I mean, that is federal government. That's the man. That's the voice you are hearing. We are in power. So the only person who can actually do that is via this Senate impeachment or whatever. And the only person that can put that pressure is pretty much the president, which I know is not going to happen.
Okay, so the Federal High Court has directed INEC. So now let's now see if INEC will ignore a court judgment.
Yeah, for me, I think I see him more as a direct threat, or either to him or to other one who doesn't want to follow the consensus agreement on whoever they want at this point. Because as time goes on, we will see some, near ridiculous things like that in that space, just to send a message to a couple of people that you come along or this can happen. But as we say, I mean, how many more months? I don't know. We'll say yes. Even get to the end of his governorship, this and they are bringing it also. They with knowing that they are imparting in power. I mean, the guy will go sleep without even flinch at all, unless if the pressure is coming from the party. If this one now the presidency move or somebody more powerful than him make move, I mean, they just shake hands more. Other than that, if not from the opposition or what they, as we said, the constitution, which they know they follow anyway, the guy no go shake at all. Now they get power now.
All right.
But the fact that the president is not in the country and it's happening, also says a lot, because we're even wrong.
You seem to read a lot into Buhari not being in the country.
They always run. Him in particular. They always run go rock every second, every now.
Well, it doesn't matter because the country still has functionality. Because I think you seem to see Buhari as some emperor.
That is why I said I don't want to be on Osinbajo's shoe. At the same time, I said that I don't want to be in his shoe because
and I don't think Osinbajo can be held to account because the judgment came in. It can come in whenever it comes in.
No, but
and this
how
guy
you react,
is not.
the position is going to take in this, it says a lot politically or constitutionally.
Well, he can't go against the law. Osinbajo will not go against the law. Okay, so he will just recommend that, okay, go and appeal if you feel that, go and appeal. That's just what else
now the party leadership, they won't come out and call. Will you say you should not go with the party and go with the law? So that's why
if they want to they won't come out from where?
If now the party leadership thereafter with my head, right? And Osinbajo know the person is his principal person, we told that of the constitution. That means he's going head to head with himself because he is a party. He has to be a party man too, for being a president as it is now. So that's why I say his position is
You
occupied
see,
at this
I
present
don't see
moment.
that. I don't see that. I don't see that Oshibajo can take any position outside of
That is the
recommending that
bad part. But as a
Umahi
president, as the number one
appeals.
citizen at this
Yeah.
point, you should be able to take position.
No, no,
Be
no,
the
no,
position
no,
you are
no,
occupying
no,
at this
no.
point.
Hold on, hold on. He cannot in this Dave Umahi matter. He cannot take any position other than to advise Umahi to appeal. What else can he do? What else do you think he's able to do?
Well, that's why I mean, I don't know. That's why I said for me as a person, it's a bad time to be Yeshibanjo at this point.
And it doesn't really affect even Oshibanjo in any way. It's
It
more
doesn't
of,
affect him.
yeah.
Not
So
that
it's more.
directly.
It's really an Umahi matter, and the appeal system is there. So all
No, I'm
Umahi has to
I'm
all
looking at
Umahi has to do is to just appeal, and Buhari will be back. So it doesn't,
I am
it
also
doesn't,
no.
it
I'm
doesn't
also
even
putting
bring, yeah,
I'm also putting Oshimbajo in as a party member, not necessarily as a president of the nation now,
right,
as
yeah.
as one of the top ranking, or if not as the number one party leader now as APC.
No, he's
Since the
not. He's
president
not a
is not.
party. No, he's not the
No,
number.
I mean, the way things should go, the number
Yes.
one guy always remained the leader at that point. But now that the president, I mean, even though as far just like I said, Blackley pointed out yesterday that there was no official
Yeah.
under normal circumstances, it should be the number one city as it is now. Since the president is
for the
not
country, not the party.
that automatically make him the leader of the party at that point. Since the president is in disposal, unless the president is still active from where he is. But if the president is not actually active, even as a party member from where he is, I mean, you can't do anything under him now.
And actually, the party leader really is Tinubu.
But he lost as far as I'm concerned, he lost the control of the party already. So
yes, but then he lost it to Oshiba. He lost it to Buhari now, not to the presidency. But I don't even see how Oshibanjo is being.
One ticket, they're all party member at this point.
Right.
Oshibanjo, even after his side, even though he's not coming back as anything, that respect will still be there as a statesman, not just for the country, but for the party. So what I'm trying to say here is body movement, how he react to matter like this. A lot of interest will be on him, especially people are saying, okay, he fit for the position come 2023. So how is he going to react?
I don't see that. I don't see what you are saying. I don't see. I don't see Oshibanjo.
These are what politicians look at.
No. I don't see Oshibanjo. No, I don't think any politician is expecting Oshibanjo to do anything other than to recommend that he appeals. He's not going to tell the judge to reverse the judgment. He's not going to do that easy. Even Buhari cannot tell the judge to reverse the judgment. If Buhari was in situation, he would say, go and appeal it. That's what Buhari would say. So there's what else is there other than that?
As time goes on, we will see where this pressure is coming from. To him, for Umahi now, who is actually really want him out. Because it was all boiled down to somebody's
no. Hold on. Ovie, hold on. The PDP instituted a legal case to challenge Umahi taking their mandate to the APC. So they feel that the vote that secured him that governorship was for the PDP. So they took that matter to court. The court took it on. So the judge had already set today as the date of judgment. They didn't just wait for Buhari to go and then just quickly gather to make a judgment. No. The date of that the date of judgment is already set. So it's not, it's nothing to do with Buhari. So on this day today, whether Buhari was in situation, whether it's abroad, whether it's in heaven, whether it's on earth, whether he's flying, whether he's drinking, whether he's eating or whatever, today would have been the day that a judgment would come in. And that judgment will come in based on how the judge has interpreted it. So it's nothing to do with any Oshiba.
Don't mind me. I'm just somebody who don't believe in coincidences.
No, it's not a coincidence, but it's not a coincidence though. How is it a coincidence?
I mean,
what's the coincidence?
I mean, that's what you are saying now, that it has nothing to do with him being out of the
No, but how is it a coincidence? How is it a coincidence? Tell me
No,
what your thinking is.
no, but if I going by watch the way you narrate it, which is how it's playing out, by the way, we'll say, oh, it's just a coincidence that the president is not in the country, the APC is having his own leadership, then this and they all fall into a particular time and particular
You
day.
you
That
you know
everything is happening.
all the way through the Buhari administration, it's been drama after drama after drama. Even when Buhari
No,
was around, it's drama. So when
even
he's
after
not
he'll be
around,
going,
it's
yes,
still
the
drama.
drama will continue
So
because
it's not as though the drama starts when he's not around. It's been
no,
drama all the way through.
just like the
So
narrative PDP is
so
pushing now. There's a narrative they are pushing. I just an headline I saw that APC is not a viable platform for anybody to aspire to be president. That is not going to last. That's what the PDP is saying now. So I can understand. I can see how they
no,
will make it.
you see, it's neither a coincidence nor a conspiracy. It's just a judgment that has come in on the date that was set for the judge to deliver a judgment. So whether Buhari was around, you remember Buhari went to Kenya and then he came back to Nigeria and then he decided
I
to
took
go to
off.
the to. So it's nothing. So the two, and
Well,
it's not a
there's a
coincidence
lot.
or anything. It's just a sequence of events.
One thing I know for sure, there's a lot that will happen within these 2 weeks of his absence.
Yes, now and then there was a lot that happened 2 weeks prior. 2 weeks prior, we were
No, no,
hearing. Oh,
things that
okay. Hold on. Imagine if Buhari was away when they made the decision that they will zone it to the south. You would have gone mad to say it's
me and you,
Oshibajo,
no say
Oshibajo.
me and you never agree on this thing. No, no say me and you never
No.
agree.
It's not me and you agreeing now. It's what they have stated. It's what they have.
So me,
So
I never agree.
I don't
We
think.
are, we are
No,
still on the opposite side on this. I
no.
believe they
It
have
doesn't
not shown
matter.
it, but you say
It
okay,
doesn't
that's
matter. We
it
have to go
doesn't
by what
matter.
they have said. So it's not what I think or what you think. It's what they have said.
Why
So
was why was not actually around when that decision was made? It was in
I think
France.
no, he was, wasn't he?
It
He
was in
was.
France.
He
No,
was.
one
But
man, think away. It was not around. It was in
look,
France.
no, I don't really understand. It's almost ludicrous somewhat. Let's not have a ludicrous. Let's have a serious conversation
Okay.
because you know.
No, this is just me reading so many minutes to what is happening
No,
anyway.
but
It's just me
sometimes
reading so
you
many
just have
minutes.
to take things as they happen and then look at the consequence of it. Because things happen in the sequence of life and in administrations, all manners of things happen. So because sometimes the administration is reacting to rather than orchestrating. But you seem to think every minutia is an
No, I
orchestration.
just
Every
believe that
minutia is not an
no,
orchestration.
I just believe that everything where they happen and we they do am.
This Buhari administration is more a reactive administration than a projecting administration. They react often to instances rather than orchestrate in most instances. This is what we have been seeing all the way through.
Really, really.
Yes, yeah.
In the political space, I don't think they are.
Well,
In the beginning, no, I don't even think they are. In the political space,
all
so
right. Well, you have a
because
particular reading because
no,
you
me
want to
no,
everything that
that they are
happens. You want to
actually
see
doing better than I no,
see it
no.
as
This
a Fulani master stroke.
no, they actually do
Uh,
better than I expected them to be. Was in the people that I expected, they are politically anyway. They always seem to surprise me every day because I didn't hold them that high when they were coming in. But I'm
how
just
have they surprised you?
no. I think they would have lost their mandate right as in way before now. I didn't even believe that they would succeed beyond 4 years. But they are still going as a party. The party is still
No,
growing.
there's that means you don't really understand that.
No, APC is still growing.
Buhari is a coup plotter now, so he wants to hold on to power via whatever means, force or anything, and even what it did to Goodluck Jonathan in 2015 was essentially a coup plot because
No,
it was yeah. So the moment he got that power, I don't think he should have come out to you as any surprise that he will hold on to it via
no,
whichever means.
I'm not even saying him now. I'm just saying as a party.
And the way that when the party is in power, of course they are not going to fall apart now. They are not going to fall apart. Is if they were, if APC was not in power and things have been playing as they are now, everybody would have gone their ways a long time ago now. A long time ago. It's only because they are in power, and if they
Yeah,
come out
but
of power, Or but
But
what are you saying? I don't
no,
understand.
I mean, I agree with you that them being in power has a lot to, go a long way to hold them together. But the same people who are within the power complain that the power is just one-sided, which is just APC, CPC. So for the fact that even those who are complaining are still holding on to that,
Yeah, they will hold
that's
on now. They
still.
will hold on. They will hold on because if you look at the governance, everybody has something that they have some footing that they. It's better to fight from the inside than to fight from the outside. Is it not?
Well,
So
you
they have the vice presidency, they have some senior ministerial positions, they hold some parastatals. So they still have a footing, even though they don't have the equitable footing that they feel their participation, their contribution towards the emergence of the government. But I don't. Anyway, it's a different way of
no,
looking at things, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm giving them credit for since being stayed together. I'm not
I don't think you should
arguing
give
my.
them credit because there is nothing to suggest that they would not be.
Because all
When
of them are fire breeders. The three
yeah,
members,
now
they are
no,
fire
but they are in
breeders.
power. They are in power. That is the one thing. If they are in power, they are not going to because if they implode, they lose power now. And
So no,
whether they hate
that
Buhari or
means
not, they don't want to lose power. They don't want to lose power.
that means they will. You are on the side that they will win the presidency come 2023 by all means. The
Well,
APC as a party.
no, I am not on that side because I feel that if Atiku goes in, and I suspect that these people will want to hold on to it in the north, and they might give it to Atiku, and then the new electoral bill also comes into play. So there's so many variables, too many variables to the 2023 to say that it is
So
a
if
nailed down,
yeah,
anything.
okay, that means if this fear is there or if it's this obvious that there's every chance they might lose the power, then why are they still there, knowing that that's the
No.
only
There
thing
is
that's
more
keeping them
chance.
together?
There's more chance. You're a Nigerian now. There's more chance
There's no
of an
chance.
incumbent holding on to power than losing it now. When they have all of the apparatus to hold on to power, it was only Goodluck Jonathan that was just some
Yeah, he doesn't understand
idiot.
power, so
He should have
that.
held on to it. He should have held
So,
on to
but
it.
why are you now accusing
But it's
Boy
still
that he
dumb.
plot a coup? If you know
No,
that the
no, no,
person that they are fighting he doesn't do anything.
but the point I'm making is that they have every reasons to believe that they are going to be in power because of the power of incumbency. They are the incumbents, and they don't.
Yeah,
Nobody gives off power in Africa
good luck.
except
Yeah, good luck.
your Sapele Waterman from the
Not
cliffs.
just in Africa, anywhere.
You
They
know.
have to wrestle now. That was
Especially
just
in a quasi democracy because
yes.
it's not a democracy really. It's a gun barrel democracy. It's a just we
I
don't
agree
we,
with
no,
you
they vote
totally on that. I agree with you
so
on that
but
one.
let me take you to Sunday Igboho. Let me take you actually to the east who are trying to leverage the Sunday Igboho narrative to say that okay now so this then shows that agitation for secession not a criminal offense and what then case does Nnamdi Kanu have to answer?
We were actually talking about it yesterday that we see there's going to be a lot of reading minute to that space. I think I put it as a question. Does that mean that we are going to see Nnamdi Kanu out before 2023? So if they are doing that, I expect them to actually point out to that direction anyway, even though if it doesn't have any water, how they're not going to make any game with that, but I say they should be able to make a wave as they keep the people talking about that space. I think that's one thing. You give the Yorubas credit for going underground and doing their homework, and we can see how that plays out. Then if they cannot go underground and do it, they can also use this opportunity to make noise, to make noise to that just to keep people talking about it, keep NNAMDI Kanu on the limelight until something is done. But yeah, I'm not surprised that they're trying that narrative part. I would do the same thing. So, but again,
They would have been remiss, they would have been dumb not to. I mean, it's just an open goal, right? It's just the opportunities, they would have been dumb not to use it.
yes, and again, that says a lot about the media wings of Biafra movement. They have been asleep. That means now only NNAMDI Kanu be the only man. Even though we are trying to give what's his name, my guy, Simeon Ekpa credit, but I don't think he's doing enough.
Do you think the Biafran media, and not they have a media, but their media space, do you think it's been badly managed?
Is there even are they even in existence at all?
I mean, in terms of the messaging, do you think they are handling the messaging? Because
no, they are asleep.
what I was going to. Okay, go on. You go
I
first.
think
Yeah.
it goes a long way to still say that is the politicians, just the politicians with Dari Jones has a lot of influence. Even over the
That wasn't even where I was going. It's more really the narrative, because
they are scared at this point.
No. I think that space, it tells just one single story, and it doesn't pivot, it doesn't tweak, it doesn't deviate. It just tells that story. So it's a frontal, somewhat aggressive narrative. So it's a it's a
Yes.
bombastic narrative. But they've been, and the bombastic narrative is the main message, but there are no satellite messaging to manage that space. So
Yes.
anybody that comes out within that space, they still, like Simon Ekpa, he speaks to that bombasticness. Their lawyers, Ejiofor, Edimako, whatever, they speak to that bombasticness. So there's no softening tonality. Just it's just not
Yeah,
managed properly, because it's just a single narrative, a frontal narrative, a we all the time
you
narrative. You know,
you are
it just
right,
it's not
and
properly managed. That's just my thinking.
you are right, and that's where I was blaming the politician, because this is their season. If they cannot find a way to tailor that the bombarding, as you put it, to a different narrative, to still keep the attention in that space, because even if I want to read meaning to Igboho being released now, it says a lot. It has pushed a lot of attention to that Yoruba chance of presidency again, because it just keep the attention within that space. You understand? So they will find a way to make sure they channel it within that space. They hold it as long as they can until
Because
something
if they
again come out
continue,
of that
if
space.
they continue on just that single track of bombasticness,
It's dead already. It's not
it's a
like
road to nowhere. It's a road
yeah,
to nowhere now.
because people
It's
are
a road to
becoming to
nowhere.
that rose a lot of emotion, but that is
Yeah.
done now. Reality
Yeah,
has
but
becoming to
you
set in.
see that emotion that it generated, that attention, it was a gold mine in itself.
It was a good
But they are not harvesting it, they are not mining it. So it's a golden opportunity, but they're not. The messaging is just not. They're not using
That
it
is
in
to
the way
say, the
like
only voice, the only actually powerful media they have is the Biafran radio.
yes, and it's a single story space.
Yeah, so there was there's no way
All the time.
so they couldn't, that couldn't better, whether in another form of either on Twitter or whatever, apart from hearing the voice of the man himself. I think that's what that's where again afforded NNAMDI Kanu. He's pretty much the only one
No,
broadcasting day in, day out.
I don't actually fault Nnamdi Kanu, because Nnamdi Kanu, I see him somewhat as Showore, in so many ways. He has created a paradigm. He has created a space. He has identified a thing. He has identified an anomaly in society. He has identified a disadvantagedness, and he has articulated it in a way that everybody also sees it. So he has done
Yes.
that. He has given them that. But for them to now take that and then make something out of it by managing the messaging, they have not done that. They have just gone in to join him to rave and rant.
Yeah, but what I was blaming is that I expect him to deliberately see ahead and put
No.
strategic
No. There are other visionaries that should come in as well. There are people, because he cannot do it all, because that is his talent, is the bombasticness, isn't it? So he can bombast, and then image managers, PR experts, media savvy people, intelligent
Oh
intellectuals,
man,
they can
it
all,
is
yeah,
it
they
is
can
hard for you
wrap
to
around, yeah.
It is hard. It's hard for you to beat a larger than life like Kanu, who is on air pretty much every day. Every day is on air. I mean, he has overshadowed every other reasoning just by that being on air every day. He could have
No,
just
no, but I
broadcasting
wasn't
three
even
times a
asking that they overshadow him. I'm asking that they use what he's already to work with him, but to represent the messaging in a way that can actually gain something. You
Yeah,
know,
we are saying the same thing, but
yeah.
being on air every
But
day,
not overshadow
scuffle
him
that
though.
no,
Yeah.
being on air every day, scuffle that chart. If you're coming on air three times a week, you will now have rooms for other voices to come up a little bit, either with the same message but in a different tonality.
Mm,
That gradually people will get used to it, even if it's not able to do the same thing. People will now
mm,
gravitate to that one. The only person that is doing that, which is the Samurai but now
mm,
that we are going deep into it, I think he's not doing enough.
mm.
He's not doing enough because yes, just like
Oh,
somebody
okay,
put on the
yes,
comment
you are
side,
right. That sort of tonality, that is
yeah,
still the same message, oh, but a different spin, more palatable, a
yeah, just
conversation, more conversational, more let's talk about it rather than
yes.
boo, 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 you
Yes,
know?
because whether you like it or not, you have to also be conscious of your opponent. They also have the
Mm,
same thing to counter you. So, and they are springing every day from different from just to counter your message. So, the same way you have to, just like what Mickey is saying, making Akata on the comment side, Nigeria need bombastic people. Yes, but there are time from everything. When the bombastic started, it generated a lot of attention.
are you able to see that?
Yes,
No, no. Okay, you are in the studio because he's on Facebook, isn't he? So I thought you would not
yes,
be
it's
able.
coming
Yeah.
in from Facebook. Yeah.
Mm,
I said, yeah, there's a time for that. When the bombastic started, generating for a lot of attention, emotion, and all that. But now
mm,
reality has become into setting. That voice, that bombastic should take a different tonality now.
mm,
But we see the same message. That's the only way it's still relevant. That's why again you have to give it a show, or even though they restrict that to a whole, he still find one way or the other to make sure it's on the news. Even though at his own detriment and his own whatever, bad or good, but he's still on the news talking. Now, bringing Igboho'S to is also a way to renew their own attention to that side. You understand? It's because now Tinubu has been the headline waver on that in that space for the past 3 weeks. Now the guy has decided to sit back home and think. He's meeting with the rep as members on the 16th to tell them his vision for Nigeria. You understand? So, but between now and that time, guess what? It's going to go Igboho, and that Yoruba
mm.
space. So everything has to be
And still with the Igboho, is restrictions to city parameters. What are you making of that? So
that's what
yeah,
I think
go on.
that's what I expected. That's what we are trying to say yesterday, that he's been released on condition based on his health. But that's how they
Mm,
painted it. But they are saying he should not leave Cotonou, he should not leave the
mm.
medical facility and all those kind of. So again, it's still a win-win, or actually a step forward for him if they will guide him properly. Because as we said, we all agreed on yesterday, there are reasonable amount of Yoruba people within that space, and that is Lagos. So his message, if he cannot channel his message differently, just like what we are saying about the NNAMDI Kanu'S space, just to make sure the attention is still on that movement, on that
He
space,
has
however I
to though
wanted it, he can.
because he also he's come into the public space. He's made his name off the bombasticness, but he
Yes.
cannot now, after everything, and we have landed at this point, continue to be bombastic. So he can still carry the message, but he has to pivot it to give it a new spin so
That's where,
the messages has to be conversational now, both
yes,
from
that's where
the
the elder
Igboho
statement,
narrative and from the Kano narrative. It has to be conversational and not just endless streams of shouting.
yes. Yeah, that's where those state headers come into
Mm.
play. The likes of Professor Akintola, Wole Soyinka, whoever that is, that has a name, has experience in the Yoruba space now, should come to these guys. It should be available to him at any time for guidance, how to move forward, what next. Because one thing we should pay attention to: the large amount of Igbo followers are young people, young between teenagers to early 20s. who still, who see him at the peak of his his heroicness. So those group of people should not abandon them. You should find a way to still keep them engaged, keep them talking, keep their attention in that space. How the message should go, it should not be left with, for him alone. Those within the elite within that space should come in and form, amplify the movement, not just for succession purpose or anything, but to bargain for national relevance and national power. That's the way they should be thinking now. That's why I say IPOP. How can they grow from that agitation group to be forced to be reckoned with within that region first, politically? Because if you actually want to succeed, you have to have a lot of amount of people who speak for you from that angle, who are staunch follower and believe in your ideology. So I think that's where we should be going. And if we actually want to put our electorate and run for their money, if we want to actually adjust or recommend our constitution, this is the way we should be thinking. These people who came off from, however we want to put it, even the militants, how do we build a political movement around them to challenge the power that be? Yeah.
What you are recommending there is that you transform it to a political party to challenge the
not party. Not a party. It doesn't necessarily have to be a party. The Yoruba space can be a party because they have the population.
What I'm saying is that, okay, what you are recommending now, how would they emerge politically if they're not going to contest election? How would they be, relevant politically if they don't contest for election?
They will contest. People who
will defeated. That is going to defeat
their
purpose, because their purpose is to get out of Nigeria.
No, this is what I'm saying. I am not saying Igboho should present himself for a political office.
No, I'm talking about the Biafra you are talking about.
I am not saying Kanu should come out and call for political office, but they can build a political movement into ideology whereby people who are staunch believing in that ideology are in the political space. How do you get out of the space without politically being negotiated? It's not possible. People have to negotiate from inside out. You are just outside screaming. You need to see how people in national. Imagine if half of all the Igbo representatives in the National Assembly and the House of Representatives are all staunch believers of Biafra. The conversation would have been the same. It won't be as it is now. But those who are their representatives, they don't even. On one hand, they will deny it. On the other hand, they will say.
All the leaders of Igbo are fighting for NNAMDI Kanu now. The politicians.
They are fighting for presidency, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. These people only use that.
They are doing what you are recommending. They are doing it already now.
No, they are not staunch. The only person you can say, okay, is a staunch belief. Maybe he has some harness of believing in a Biafra ideology, and anytime if he has the opportunity, he shows it. Every other one just capitalize on that space for his political gain or monetary gain. They are not. Anytime they want to use that space, either they deny that space or they accepted that space for their own political gain. What I'm even saying, I'm not saying now, because in what NNAMDI Kanu has succeeded in doing is that he has succeeded in actually constitutionalize most of the young people in that region, and by extension the whole country. It will be hard for that voice to just totally disappear from their head unless they totally shut him down. But how do you now bring that all those people who are doing sit at home to a different perspective, but with the same ideology? Just change us now, because it's all about numbers. If you have the same pressure coming in from the Senate, from the House of Reps, the same pressure that is coming from the street, the narrative will be different. But they are not thinking like that. The world has changed. If you want to carry himself, you know, if you defeat the state. So how do you stay relevant is for you to change the tonality of your voice, but the message is the same. You have intellectuals in that space. If him, the number one guy, cannot reason that way, there are a lot of intellectuals in that Eastern Quarter that they can actually sit down and put in work. That's what society, any society that is progressive, you are talking about education. Where are the intellectuals in that space to come into play? Where are they? So it's not about NNAMDI Kanu alone at this point. For them to achieve their dream, it has to be is way bigger than him, and he has to see it like that.
All right. I'll tell you where the intellectuals are over here. They are in the universities, but they are on strike at the moment. So ASU still at it again. I think you would have experienced that because we all have. There was never a time in the history, and never will be. They are on strike again. Pay and conditions is what they are discussing, something that they had agreed on under Goodluck Jonathan, which is subject to review. But now they are bringing all the agencies that he has to pass the wages board, he has to pass the this and that board. I wonder what the wages board had to say about the Senate, their salaries and emoluments. So they also are on strike again, the government trying to wriggle out of it. No change there, rinse and repeat. Would there ever be an end to this, Ovie?
Nah, man, they are part and parcel of it, and the Nigerian system problem or whatever. So to say there will ever be an end, well, I never believe. They still never say never, but I at the same time I still understand what you mean by that. For how long are we going to continue like this? Well, for as long as we decide to only make noise about some certain things, because whether we like it or not, the people who are the leaders of this ASU are not to be trusted. You know, they are very systematic on when to make this noise. And all they seems to be asking for is money for themselves. At this point, some universities like Unilag, ABU, all those big universities, I see no reason why they should still be depending on government for their own funds. They have been existed long enough to produce alumni who have done exceptionally well in different aspects of our society. What are they doing with their funds? If we are having, I mean, I'm going too far with comparison now. Yes.
What?
Yes.
Ovie, what
Yes.
are you talking about? They are talking about these people are talking about their salary.
That's what they've been talking about since it has been that has been the headline from since I was born. When anything has to do with us, will not buy their salary. So
yes,
salary
and condition. Hold on, salary and condition of living, and even the university environment. The government is not investing on university environment. Go and look at
news. It is not new.
Okay, so what are you saying?
That is why I said, just listen to me now. University like Unilag, ABU, Zaria, all those in Suka who have been in existence close to 100 years. If I'm being to agree, I'm being to make a note to, but they are not up to. But they have produced men and women who have excelled in every aspect of life, not just in Nigeria, but outside Nigeria. What are their contribution to this single individual institution, not the whole educational system in Nigeria?
Yeah.
But where today, Unilag should be boasting of billions of naira, if not dollars, as their head fund sitting somewhere. They should.
Let me tell you,
educational institution, for God's sake, what are they been doing? They know they do any research. I mean, your government that you depend on has never lived up to power from day one.
Let me tell you something. Ovie, let me tell you.
At this point, it's all political. They use them. They target the right time to make noise.
Ovie, let me respond to your question about the alumni. Let me tell you, in those universities that you mentioned, they are trying their best. They come around most of the time. The University of Lagos, the what do you call this guy? Momo is the current chairman of the alumni. They raise money, to fix that Senate house and to renovate some buildings there.
They are not doing enough.
Oh, okay. You want to blame them? So they are the ones you want to blame for the problem.
I will.
You want to go and pay the salary of workers?
You are an institution, for God's sake. See, that's the problem. You see, one man. Listen. As I said,
are doing their best. They are not. They don't have no blame in this issue. This is between the staff and the government. So,
just listen to me.
They shouldn't come in. Don't go to their own end at all. You don't have anything to say about them.
What they are complaining about is not a news.
what I'm
It is
saying,
not
the
a
alumni.
news. No be today start. They be complaining about. I'm pretty sure if I pull out a newspaper
Don't
from
bring
50
in
years ago about ASU, they were complaining about the same thing. You
what we
are an
are talking.
educational institution, for God's sake. If you cannot think and react outside the box, then we are doomed as a society. If that singular institution cannot think outside the box and find a way to be financing themselves after 50 years of existence, then we are in trouble. I'm not saying every institution. Those particular ones by this time should have the capability to fund themselves 110%.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. If you own a business now, who is going to run your business for you? Is it not you or an outsider? Is it an outsider that will come and run, or you yourself?
If it's
Answer that question. I am asking you a question. You own a business, who is going to run that business to work well?
Me.
Okay, that is good. Those universities are owned by the government of Nigeria, and it's the responsibility of the federal government that own it to make it work well for the objective they set them up for. So they don't make it, and you want to blame alumni.
And I am telling,
hold on now.
And I am asking you, this problem, when did this problem start?
Hold on.
From the one that the institution has been instituted, that's when the problem starts.
My question.
You are 50 years in running, you are still dependent. Come on. This is an education institution we are talking about here. No be motor park.
Hold on. The alumni. Do you know that it is voluntarily? The school I finished, the institution I finished, I'm not compelled to join the alumni. I mean, to be part of them.
Can you allow me to talk? Can you allow me to talk?
Hold on. It is a voluntary organization just to help their school. They have nothing to do with the salary. They have nothing to do with the way the school is run. It is the responsibility of the government. So when the government doesn't run it well or invest or make it work well, you blame the government. Don't go to the alumni. You are going the wrong route, man.
You live in America. You understand? Why are they not having the same problem that we are having educationally? Because primary educational system, right? You know why? Because most of these institutions are, if not 80 or 90%, funded by their own research or institution or community around them. Now, small they come from government, the country that you currently live in. I come to school for America under track and field scholarship. Guess who is paying our school fees under that management? The community, the small business community where my university is situated. They are the one contributing money to fund the sports department of that institution. Has nothing to do with government. So if you are making your alumni voluntary, that is where I blame the institution. Now, university, we as the whole society are supposed to depend on this institution for the way forward. Every day people come online, the even minister, they blame Nigerians why they should take to other minor activities, learn job, practice this. Why can't the university do the same thing? Think outside the box. You are a think tank institution.
Alumni has nothing to do with the salary of workers. That is what they just speak to.
You are not getting what I'm saying. Can you just listen? Just listen. Can you just listen? I am not saying alumni should pay the salary of the staffers, but all that thing, all that development that government is funding should not be. The infrastructure of the university should be put in place by the community, by the alumni, not necessarily the government at this point.
What is the problem of alumni?
How much is UNILAG generating annually with their think tank? What are they generating annually?
What is the problem of the alumni on this?
I am not saying the whole Nigerian educational system now. I am particularly pointing some institutions who are by this time should be bigger than crying for mere salary from the government. Or mere to come and construct a road, or to come and build a classroom.
You
They
don't
should
know
be
what
bigger than that at this
alumni
point.
of those universities. You don't know what alumni of those universities are doing. That's why you are talking
If
like
the
this.
alumni is not well
One man,
organized, that is not
if one
government
man,
fault. It is the school fault. They
oh
should be
God,
able to galvanize around
who
the
owned the
alumni
school?
who
Who
are well
owned
to
the
do within
school?
the society.
Who owned the
Ajale
school?
Koko, why? Who is government? Government, who is government? Is it not me and you that is the government? You keep saying government, government, government.
Are
Government
you
come and go. Now
serious?
me
What do
and
you mean by
yes.
what do you mean by me and you, the government?
The government,
What are you talking about?
the government is supposed to fund the issue with our own taxpaying money. How many people they still pay tax within the Nigerian economy because the economy is badly funded? I am telling you, this is an institution. Unilag is an institution that are supposed to, the whole society is supposed to be beckoned for leadership. If you cannot think outside the box, every now and then you cry for I need milk, I need sugar, I need this from you in the name of government, then you have failed as an institution. For God's sake, you've been existed for more than 50 years. Still, we cannot be. How much did Unilag generate as an institution?
All right.
Because they are allowed to
V.
do that. They are allowed to make money, and they allow. How many students within Unilag that the Unilag is even funding, either research or anything?
Well, you don't know though, so
I'm asking. It's a question. I am putting it. It's a question. I'm asking. If you are defending them, you should be able to answer all these questions. If you are defending them,
you shouldn't be able to because
you need like one build gutter for that. They say make government. They cry about government. What a whole Lagos that house pretty much 90% of the international businesses and multi-billion businesses. You cannot rally around them to focus some certain percent of their revenue on that institution. Why?
You just go and do your research. Go and search about alumni of University of Lagos.
Me and you there, America. I just tell you how their institution is being run. It not be like that a day for they won't understand. But when you depend on government from day one, government has never been responsible. You know this. You know from day one.
All right, thank you, V.
50 years later, you are still crying. If I go pull a newspaper from 50 years ago, I'm pretty sure I'll see the same headline. Crying over salaries and all those.
That's the tragedy. It will never stop. But thank you, V. For reasons of time, let's see if we still have Charlie Boy. So Charlie Boy, once upon a time, break up Nigeria. So is now want better Nigeria for everyone. So has your politics changed, Charles? Now you want a better Nigeria. You don't want to break it up anymore.
No, I just said that if Nigeria could be fair, if no fairness, Nigeria must break.
So your politics has changed. So this is it. Ajale Koko has influenced you to become one Nigerian. Look at that. Charlie Boy. Look at that.
Ajale Koko, you are doing what you are supposed to do. Bring the young ones to follow the right path.
You follow the right path.
Nigeria will give you that. We'll give you that for Zamfara.
Nigeria must be fair. Nigeria is not fair when Nigeria is pointless.
Okay, how is Nigeria not fair? Because they've not made the Igbo's president, Abi.
No, because Nigeria has showed us that the people in Nigeria dealt in the Igbo don't want to be in this country. They have shown us that by their actions.
All right. Okay, Charles, so let me just take you to the IPOB space, saying that the Igboho'S release is indicative of the fact that agitation for self-determination is not a crime, and they are wanting to use that then to request for Kanu'S release. What are you making of that? Okay, we've lost Charles. Okay, thank you, Charles. So Charles now just came to tell us that he has changed his politics. So thank you, Charles. So DOG, I see you, but I want to start to round off from here because usually this is where we round off. So I'll just give DOG a quick comment and then I'll round off. So
what do you say?
No, it's I was just going to round off, but now I was coming to you, but then maybe Mommy came in.
No, about Igboho, I think it's good that Igboho's released. That's good. I think that's a blessing for the Yoruba people.
Okay.
They can fight for the country.
All right, brilliant.
They should to all Nigerian politicians that the way the people always work. You're fair. This is a sign for Nigeria. It's a beginning of a new beginning.
All right, thank you. So, DOG, a quick comment from you, and then I'll round off.
Yeah, I don't know why the Igbos are complaining about NNAMDI Kanu. It's two different situations. Their cases are different. Even though we know Igboho doesn't even really have a case from onset. you can't even still compare what their situation and what the government is trying to tackle both of them for. It's two different narratives.
Igboho is a secessionist now, a real criminal.
He has not commit as much of atrocities you will
It was calling for the breakup of the
connect
country.
to
That's
Nnamdi Kanu.
you know it's a treasonable act what he did, calling
That's
for
what
the breakup
Nigeria
of the
always use,
country.
treasonable, but it's
Is
on
it not
his right.
treasonable? Is that not treason?
No, he was the one that was offended, though. He was the one that went to his house, break his house. He was only calling for a Yoruba nation.
Did they go to his house for reasons of handing flowers to ladies and helping elderlies cross the road?
But
He didn't go to attack him for
a better Nigeria for his people.
It was asking. It wasn't quite. He was saying he wants to break up Nigeria. Remember when he went to
that's
attack
what
a
he was
border
calling
post?
for at that point, because
Remember when he
killing
went
his
to
people,
attack a border post?
and he was looking as if they are Fulanizing Nigeria already, which we can all see. And he came out to
Yemi
fight
Osinbajo
for
is a
that
Fulani man.
for that position. I don't think that's why I said.
A Fulani man?
I
Fashola is a Fulani
said
man.
initially that Igboho and most Yorubas are not even thinking of Yoruba nation. Even at the start of it, I don't think Igboho is somebody that is with the idea of Yoruba nation from onset. Apart from, the Fulani started killing people. They killed the man that came from the US that was giving people job in Bongon and all that. That was what propel him into that space. He's not somebody that is with anybody in the sense of Yoruba nation or whatever. But at that point, you would think, they are killing my people. Who are his people? They are Yoruba people.
Point of correction. It was for Yoruba nation before the incident of Igboho happened. If you may recall, 2020, October 1st, that was when he wanted to launch Yoruba nation in Ibadan, but it was prevented by the security officers. They didn't let him launch it.
If it's 2020, that means it's not for Yoruba nation. I think people.
No.
People calling for Yoruba nation would have been calling for it before 2020. It was everything that was happening.
Hold on now. Let us make the get it clear. This is we're in 2022, 2021. So.
All right, we're losing you a little bit, Ajanle Koko, but that's a good spot to round this off. Just a couple more comments from you, and then I must round it off. Then
so I don't see why the Igbos are complaining. And the other day, I even said something about, and everybody, I got a backlash. Like I said, the way the Yorubas do their stuff, they're a bit strategic. People started knocking me from every corner. Why would I use strategic? Even this, our sister came on to tackle me. Is that not playing out now? Even though we complain.
Are you claiming victory for Igboho? Look at this guy.
Yeah, I'm claiming victory. I'm happy for him and that's why I keep saying, I don't even know why people expect that guy to go back and start calling in whatever way, even on social media. And it's not somebody that will even go on social media and be doing.
Okay, so you are with Mike that he has done his bit, and then we should.
He's done his bit for now, and his best bet for now is just to lay low. And because you can't go now and start calling for Yoruba nation. And I think the only thing that will make Yoruba nation come into play again is if the next president, who won't have any military background, is not doing things right. Then I think coming out and saying Yoruba nation can actually really work. But if you come when a president that has a military background is in play, it's difficult. They will do the same thing they did to Igboho. Look at what that guy has lost. His property, his friends, and his family has been in trauma for how many months now? Nobody was carrying placard, apart from all these babas going around doing things strategically, fighting with law, with their knowledge and everything to bring him out. So
all right, thank you, D. That's a good spot to leave it. So D, we must leave it there. So we'll reconvene in the evening, of course, to carry the conversation on. So hold your thoughts till then, and then we'll share a bit more of it. So I'll leave it there. Carry conversation on within the comment section over here. I say peace.
Cheers. Yeah.